God's way is not our way. The quicker we figure that out, the better off we'll be. Child, let's talk about it. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. When I tell you that that scripture truly changed my life and changed my relationship with God, I absolutely mean it. So, just to be transparent, there was a time during my relationship with God when I was a bit irreverent. And I know that's hard to believe coming from somebody like me, God's frontline troop. But believe me when I say that was the reality. And the way in which I was irreverent was the way in which many of us as believers are irreverent. So I used to say, well, if God wanted me to know this, he would have made it clear. Whatever the thing was, if God wanted me to change this, he would have made that clear. If God wanted me to do this, he would have made that clear. If I didn't know how to address things, I would put it off on God. And I would say, well, if God wanted me to do that, he would have made it clear to me. And as a person who truly does hear from God, that might seem like, well, why wouldn't you say that? Of course. But as a person who knows God's character and knows God's nature, I can now say to you, I know for a fact, in spirit and in truth, that it is so irreverent to have that mindset. If God says that it is to his glory to conceal a matter, we have to understand what God's character is. When God conceals something from us, it's not because God does not want us to find it. It's because God knows that by concealing this thing, when we do take the pursuit of finding it, not only does it bring us closer to God, but it builds our relationship with God. It gives us confidence. It gives us faith. It allows for us to better communicate with God in the future. It allows for us to truly navigate things in this earth and have a certainty that God will come through for us. We have an obligation to dig deeper. We have an obligation to investigate, to look further, and God will reveal to you what God needs you to know. And so I did have to learn that from experience. But what I would say is through my relationship with God, I was able to learn how to better communicate with God and also how to see the signs that God was showing me in the earth. There came a time after this point when I realized how irreverent I was being, where anytime I would see something in the earth, regardless of what it was, if God was allowing me to see it, I would seek him out about, what does this mean? Why'd you show me this red car? Why'd you show me this? Why'd you show me that? And that was because I did not want to miss anything. Over time, as our relationship grew and I was able to truly understand what God was relaying to me, I didn't have to do that so much. But in the beginning, that was something that was necessary because I didn't want to miss God. For each of us, that might be different. Now there are certain passwords that God and I have where I know that if this number is presented, God needs me to look further. God needs me to investigate because this is a number that is significant to us. Or if this word is broadcasted somewhere, I know that God needs me to see this. Or if God is showing me the same word 5 different times in 5 different places in a matter of 5 minutes, I know, okay, you need me to search this word out further. There's a word that you have for me regarding this. Now, this is what took place as a result of me fostering my relationship with God. And so I will say, God's ways are not our ways. But just as it says, it is to the glory of God to conceal a thing, it is to the honor or the glory of kings to search it out. So you can decide what kind of a person you want to be. If you want to be a peasant, just leave it alone and say, if God wanted me to know, he would let me know. But if you want to be royalty, as God has called us to, you will search out a matter and you will find that not only do you feel more confident when you understand what it is that God is presenting to you, but you feel so much closer to God.